Hi everyone. This week our focus was on grants, and we were to develop an idea for a grant and to appeal to a specific foundation. I chose to go the historical preservation route. I've always liked fixing things, I've always liked restoring things, putting things back together. My time in the Marine Corps, I was a helicopter mechanic working with my hands, and just throughout life, I've always enjoyed restoring things. I have a 1969 pickup truck that was my grandfather's, and then it was my father's, and now it is mine, and I'm in the process of restoring that, fixing some things that needed to be fixed on there so that when it comes time for my son to learn how to drive, he will have that vehicle to learn how to drive in. For the historical preservation piece of this, I chose to look in the area surrounding our house, and I found something not too far away from where we live. I found Camp Toccoa at Currahee Mountain, and this is something that I didn't realize was so close to our house when I started researching for this project. Camp Toccoa was actually used by the Paratroopers. It was created under Franklin Delano Roosevelt's work project administration, and it was constructed in the 1930s, and it would open and it would serve as the training site for several different parachute infantry divisions like the 501st, the 506th, 511th, and the 517th. It also served as a training grounds for the 295th Ordnance Heavy Maintenance and the 38th Signal Construction Battalion. Now, Camp Toccoa's most famous claim is it's featured in the Band of Brothers, as Easy Company was actually stationed at Camp Toccoa, and that is where they did the majority of their training, and that was kind of their home base. And so this camp that was here, located not too far from my house, was actually featured in that, and as a result of that, it does have several historical preservation projects currently ongoing on the camp. They're restoring the barracks that are on there. They've restored the guard shack and the archway at the entrance to the camp. But what really caught my eye is they have started a new preservation project, which is called the C47 project. And the C47 is a plane that the paratroopers used to jump out of. And it was actually one of the planes that they used to jump out of on D-Day. And they are now in the process of restoring that plane and creating a location on Camp Toccoa for that plane to be displayed for the public to be able to come and visit and learn about the C-47, learn about the paratroopers and how they used to jump out of the planes. Now, the historical foundation that I would focus on is the Daughters of the American Revolution. There's also a few different foundations in Georgia that may work for this, but the Daughters of the American Revolution was the one that I felt like would have a good starting point for this, as I've never really done any grant work before, but I am familiar with the Daughters of the American Revolution, as they have done things with our school that I teach at. And so I would submit my grant application to the Daughters of the American Revolution for funds specifically related to the C-47 itself. Now, Camp Toccoa has plans to do a bunch of gardenscaping and landscaping and lighting and doing bricks and all that stuff around the C-47 to make the area nicer for the guest. But the funds that I would be requesting would be used specifically for the C-47 to be able to be used on that plane, to restore that plane, to fix some areas that are starting to degrade, to where it would be a true wonder for people to be able to see. Thank you, and I look forward to doing more work with grants and looking at historical preservation in the future.